All right, here we are. Another beautiful, wonderful day. How's everyone doing? We've got a little bit of NOITA again, once again today. I know this is normally our Fallout stream time, but we keep having issues with Fallout every time that we do tens of hours of troubleshooting to get the frames right and to get the audio right and stuff. They end up doing like another update, whether or not they announce the update, and breaking our game all over again. And the last frame rate and audio issues were really quite bad, and I, after so much troubleshooting, wasn't able to fix either of them. So I'm kind of just getting tired of having to constantly deal with that. So we're going to avoid playing Fallout until they stop updating it, and they also, well, they need at least one more update to fix the bugs that they keep introducing, and then they need to stop updating it so we can actually play the game as streamers. But until then, there's plenty of other awesome games that we'd like to play on the stream anyways. NOITA being a big one. We've played quite a lot of NOITA over the years, learned quite a lot about the game. And I always get bored, or something happens, like I need to reset my PC or buy a new computer or something anytime that I get pretty far in the game. And so I have yet to earn either my crown or amulet, which I have come close to completing several times now and just never end up doing. I'll end up sitting on this save file for months and then losing it for one reason or another. But if I'm not mistaken, we still have the save file from the last two streams. And we were getting pretty far. I believe that we were well on our way towards breaking the reroll machines so that we can go ahead and stand inside of the sun. So we've done the as above so below quest for NOITA, where we have a sun above and a sun below, and those carry through between save files. So what we'll need to do in order to get the crown is just replace the sun underneath with the dark sun. So we just need to get the essences and a kakikare, and then go ahead and just make a dark sun, and then we'll have the crown. But I mean, we've, in the past we've already gone beyond that. We're chasing different achievements before getting the crown. So hopefully we'll be able to just kind of get that today or on a future stream. Hope everyone's having a fantastic day, and let's get into it. It's been a little while, a few weeks since we loaded into this save file, so we'll just take a moment here to remember what we're doing. Oh no. Oh, this is no good. The thing that I was... Ooh. Okay. We're gonna have to do another stream with no audio. The thing that I was really hoping wouldn't happen, that wasn't happening, is happening. So the audio issues that I thought that were Fallout exclusive are now happening in this game now too. Which is really unfortunate. Fortunately, we don't need sound really to play this game, but we're unfortunately having the issue where, again, I don't know if you guys know the meme of the metal pipe dropping. It's like bass boosted. It's just like extremely loud for no reason, but that's just happening whenever I'm streaming a game. Anytime I try to go to troubleshoot it, it won't happen, and then I'll actually start like a public stream and then basically can't play the game because I'm getting my ears blasted by super loud noise. I tested it with a bunch of other games and never had the issue in anything but Fallout until right now, the moment that I want to start streaming. So that's terribly unfortunate, and we are going to have to troubleshoot that somehow. Man, I wish I could. I need somebody who's an audio wizard to help me with this stuff, but I suppose until then we'll just go ahead and do our best here. I think in between streams what we'll do is we bought another headset so that we could stream the Christmas streams on our laptop, and we're going to try using that headset in case it's like a physical bug that's with our audio mixer and stuff. So not as nice as the setup that we have, and we wouldn't be using our nice microphone here, but hopefully it would allow us to actually play. But until then, I guess we just kind of play without sound here. We just got to remember where we're at. So we have a healing wand here. which we have modified into a wand generation one that we used to get a bunch of spells. We have a black hole one. Actually, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go and grab that headset and see if we can't play the game. We'll it shouldn't take too long here. I doubt anybody's watching as of yet, so we'll just go ahead and be right back. We'll just make a comment here. Oh, hi. Seth is actually here. Your chats didn't show up in my OBS, but I do see them here. I'm not missing your stream. That's awesome. Let me just post a comment on the stream here to let you guys know what I'm up to. Grabbing a headset to try and get around audio issues. Well, I'm not really sure where I set that, so we'll have to look for it in between streams. So for now, we'll just go with the first plan of streaming without game audio, and then we'll see what we're doing tonight for our evening stream, and in between, we'll try and see if we can't do a bit more troubleshooting. It does narrow things down knowing that this audio issue happens with different games. At the very least, it does narrow down. We know that it's not the game that's causing the issue, which we were pretty sure before that it was. It does suck, though, because we can't just avoid Fallout and then have no issues, which is what I was kind of hoping for. So we have damage wand. Let's see. We have a tunneling wand. We have a mobility wand. And then we have this wand. So should allow us to heal. Oh, right. Yeah, we don't even need Deadly Heal anymore because we have this wand that has an always cast heal on it. The best heal spell in the game. I'd nearly forgotten about that. This is good news. Very good news. We can probably just go ahead and drop this Deadly Heal and this Boomerang. Won't be needing those. Just make the extra space. That's a good wand right there. Right, so we do have Tinker with Wands everywhere. It looks like we're probably in an alternate world here, if I remember correctly. Otherwise, we wouldn't be digging straight in this pattern that we are. So we can assume that we're in an alternate world, and we're grabbing more perks. So we'll continue with that in the spirit of inevitably breaking reroll machines. So I believe we already have Repelling Cape. Perhaps not. So we'll go ahead and grab that. Repelling Cape is quite good. Just grab our health here. We'll just increase our health by another 10. Every little bit matters. Kill this guy. Easy, easy. If anything we don't explicitly need, we're going to skip it so we can have as many untouched reroll machines as possible. Once we have, I think the magic number is 36 of them, we'll go back and reroll each of them exactly once. The amount that they cost doubles each time. So you guys know that if you double something enough times, the number becomes absurdly large. At some point, it gets to the point where the game can no longer handle the large integer, and it just becomes free. It's totally free to do any rerolls, and that's what we're aiming for. That way we can reroll as many times as we like to get exactly as many parts as we want. Pick up one of those. Let's see. We do like the more love perk. Don't really necessarily need it. But at some point we would like to get like 7 of those so that enemies don't even target us anymore. Stuff here. Let's see. Pretty much have all the spells that we could ever want after we spawned like a million wands with summon Pakasal. So we don't really need to be hunting for any more spells. Unlikely to find something we don't already have plenty of. Got to go through the tedious process of tunneling alternate world after alternate world to get all the perks that we need to do the sun quest. Now, pinpointer is pretty good, but I get annoyed by the laser, so I don't ever grab it. And then we just go ahead and head back up to the surface. You can see after we found Nilla and a short teleport bolt that we really aren't hampered by mobility anymore. Though that is, we go rather fast now. Helps quite a lot, of course. Just so I'm not spending all of my time traveling. There are technically faster ways. This is about as fast as I could ever get just a teleport bolt wand to go. There are ways to go faster, and that is usually with, like, the knockback you get from having very highly damaging spells. You can make a wand that has so much knockback that it basically just moves you from one side of the world to the other instantaneously. Certainly something that we could make at some point. I'm going to stay pretty low to the ground just because of the bosses that kind of spawn. Don't really want to get suddenly polymorphed by the wand connoisseur. Down we go into the next one. Perks right here. I believe we already have explosion immunity because of exploding. Maybe not. Because now that I think about it, the perk that makes us explode when we get touched by damage, I think only gives us 20% explosion resistance, so we might like to have full explosion immunity here. Would help just in those rare cases where we take a lot of explosion damage, although our health pool is high enough to where it's probably not going to make that big of a difference. It's pretty big, but we're still going to grab that extra 10 health at each of these heart stations, just, you know, it's nice to have another, what is that, 0.2% health. At some point we'll have such a large health pool that it will actually just be a waste of time to even walk over there. Not quite there. More knockback is good. We'll grab no more knockback. It's a good perk that doesn't have any downsides. You just, enemies can no longer knock you back, which is great. So now we can just go do what we like without being bothered by enemies. I don't hate Revenge Tentacle because it gives you projectile resistance. However, it does grab projectiles as well. Just something to note. A bunch of different projectiles that the tentacle will go out to attack an enemy, and it will grab a projectile and pull it back into you, which, you know, obviously you don't really want that. Gold is Forever is pretty decent, since we don't have an absolute crap ton of gold generation at the moment. We would like to approach a crap ton of gold generation. This wand is pretty good. Oh, it doesn't always cast, we don't really want though. Let's check what's in this chest. It's a milk. There's nothing, just that. We would like revenge bullets here, so we can start stacking up projectile resistance. We can grab 5 of these perks, and at some point we'll essentially be immune to projectile damage. On to the next parallel wall. I wasn't streaming, I might be ascending a little bit more carefully than this, just in case there's like pools of polymorphine. But that sounds extremely tedious, let's not. Or we'll just go straight up. A different strategy here. Bosses were spawning pretty close to the surface, so we'll go try and go higher than where they spawn instead. Big enough health pool to just kind of tank the cursed rock there without any issue. Ooh, sand. The nice thing about teleport bolt is that it's actually also something for digging projectiles, so you don't get too stuck. It's the kind of spool that we're always trying to do. Kind of looks like they're just spawning wherever we're at, so we might need to continue doing underground stuff so we don't definitely polymorph. And phasing would go a long ways to helping us. We will take a stack of phasing. With phasing, I'm not too concerned about polymorph bolts anymore. So ideally, we can just continue to save time by just ignoring the bosses that spawn. So gas fire can be pretty nice. In the rare cases where dangerous liquids get turned into gases, this will prevent us from ever being harmed by them. No more shuffle is a must-have. One of the best perks in the game. Means that our wand right here that was a shuffle wand is now not a shuffle wand. Means we can now build it however we like without having to account for the randomness of which spells get cast in what order. We'll take extra perk, of course. Concentrated spells right here is a pretty interesting perk. Especially new players should always consider grabbing this, especially early on in their runs. Just makes your spells do more damage, but it's actually a stacking benefit, so you can cast 5 spells at once. Each one of them gets 5 times the bonus additional damage. So instead of, when you cast 5 spark bolts, instead of doing 15 damage, this will end up doing like hundreds of damage. And it can really, really give you a lot of firepower that you need. You got lucky there. We got two perks without losing the gamble. Thanks to our friend Perk Lottery. we aren't really keeping track of how many worlds we visited or how many of these reroll stations are still active. Because I can't keep that many numbers in my head. I can only come up to about 5. So we're just gonna try and overkill it and have more than enough. There's the polymorph potion. Yeah, see, this is what we're talking about. This is suddenly a super dangerous area to be, because if we touch that liquid, we just die, basically. So we're going to need to be extremely careful coming back up this way. We'll have to remember that that's there before we ascend in this world again. Extra health, very nice. Extra life, also very nice. We now have quite a lot of health. We could always get more, of course, but we'll really be stacking it once we break the rerun machines. At that point, we can make sure that we have an absurd amount of health, just for more safeties. So we have slime blood, we have oil blood, and now we'll go ahead and take gas blood, now that we have the bonuses from the other types of blood. We will no longer stain ourselves when we bleed, which is really nice with stainless armor, because stainless armor doesn't work when you have a stain. Now that we no longer stain ourselves when we bleed, we're gonna be much tankier than we were. And we take Peace with Gods just so we don't have to deal with Skada every single mountain anymore. It's a little annoying having to clear his bones. We pretty much have... grab this. Just ahead. We should be able to go straight up now, because the area where the polymorph is blocked off is the sideways way to get it. I'm not worried about doing it. Just make sure we're going this way. Take it easy. into the next world. I love the little touches in this game. Go fast enough to start making airplane noises. You hit the ground and it explodes like an airplane presumably would if you ever hit the ground with an airplane going at speed. Gods look the other way, as they should. As they should. Not gonna bother exploring or grabbing everything, because the only thing we really care about at this point is getting the perks that we like. Just try to be as efficient as possible. Not waste time on things we don't need. I don't want to be dropping through these tunnels too fast, just in case, like I always say, the polymorphine can randomly spawn. Going up is a little safer because we've already seen where we're going. So we would ideally know whether or not there's polymorphine waiting for. Just gonna check Discord really quickly for the see where everybody's at for possibly playing Raft again. Oh, that was close. Almost died for not paying attention. Same thing happened as last time. That's chaotic polymorphine. You want to go far around that again. And most of the perks we need now, so really we're just gonna try and blast through these holy mountains as quickly as possible to unlock them. As fun fact, holy mountains don't spawn until you're in them, basically. They simply aren't there. All-seeing eye. That's a perk we'd like to have very much. Increased lifetime could be good for us eventually in the future if we ever wanted to create infinite lasting holes. Screwed far around to this chaotic party. Don't mess with that at all. Should probably take this opportunity to do a little bit of mental math. I'm not sure which parallel we're on, but I know we've done at least, and I think we've done about 5 already on this stream, 5 east worlds. And if we're leaving a conservative estimate of 3 untouched mountains per, it's already half of the amount that we need. So we'll probably do maybe a couple more in this direction, and then just go west a little bit as well. Make sure that we have more than enough real machines, because what we really don't want to happen is to fail breaking the machines, because then we'll be locked out of breaking them forever. The number will get so high that even if we have quote-unquote infinite money, we won't be able to afford re-rolling them anymore. Phasing can be a little dangerous to take if your source of healing is projectile based. Fortunately, we have this healing field on this one, so no matter how many stacks of phasing we grab, we'll still be able to keep the effectively. Phasing is what's going to protect us from the one connoisseur bullets. What we'll do, just so we don't have to go east again, because we're pretty far east, and the first few mountains we went to, we grabbed most of the breaks. So, after this next east mountain, what we'll do is we'll teleport back west, do, say, a 5 of those mountains, and then just say that we've definitely got more than enough rear machines ready to break, and then we'll work our way back east from where we are at west with a bunch of untouched mountains just to make things easy. Let's hit that portal. West. We're back in our home world. We don't have a clue what we're up. Unfortunately, so we're just gonna look at all these obstacles. I don't like to put too many of those in the main world. Just to look a bit cool. Might be one good elevator though. Maybe we'll get like summon Sabakiri that will just make us a big holy. For this easy traversal. Opportunity to show everyone my achievements. Here's all the bosses I've killed. Here's whatever these are. Some of these. One of those. And some of this. So there's our as above, so below achievement. Having a sun above and a sun below. Once we replace the below sun with the dark sun, that's when we'll get our crown, the coveted the NOITA glow. We can get rid of our ambrosia whenever, because ambrosia doesn't do anything for us anymore. Now that we can't hold stains because we have a couple stacks of stainless armor. We're very tanky anyways. pretty soon though we'll be filling up our inventory slots with sun seeds and the other bits that we need to make the sun. I do want because the purpose of us going west is to unlock enough holding mountains to break the real machines, we won't be picking up any troops. We're just going to slam through them as quickly as possible. Game's getting a bit laggy, which, oh no, it crashed? Oh no, the game crashed! Oh, I wonder if it's because I'm also streaming. This game rarely crashes for me. There have been times where it lags out, it will be frozen for 10 minutes, but it always picks itself back up whenever I cast really silly spells. But that's one of the first times I can ever recall seeing this game crash. It must have something to do with the fact that I'm streaming. It's trying to synchronize the cloud, which my save file is too large for Steam to even begin to synchronize, so it'll get stuck forever. So let me... I already have Steam Cloud save disabled. I don't know why it's trying to save the game in the cloud. It shouldn't be doing that. It's trying to synchronize the cloud even though I have that disabled. Okay, there we go. Oh no. It says autosave found. Looked like the game crashed. Should the game attempt to restore the autosave? Restore. This is dangerous though. This can corrupt our worlds. Hopefully it's alright. Got pretty unlucky there though. And we're back in the main world for some reason, and none of our achievement pillars are here. Looks like something did happen to our game. Oof. Oh no. This is no good. We might have a bonked save after all this work. We can just hope that it's pretty much fine until the areas. If it crashes again, then we might have to just... Yeah, so you got weird stuff going on here. Put us back in the main world like we never went west, but there's still some artifacts in this game, so it seems pretty terribly confused as to what exactly happened. It might be fine. I know the game gets laggy when you get to this point in the game, but I didn't account for the fact that streaming also puts a load on your PC. like I said, the game very rarely crashes. And usually only when I'm really trying to break it like on purpose, basically, which we weren't. Not in a way that would crash it. Once the save file gets to the point where you have so many of these alternate worlds, it does always slow down. Usually that just means that it's slowed and not necessarily always prone to crashing. Has its limitations, being a totally unique engine built. That's one less work. Just doing 4 more. And then work our way backwards, rerolling each machine. Single player. Try and go not too quickly, so we can avoid crashing. This area is always the laggiest though, because there's a lot of environmental damage. As soon as you even come close, a bunch of the creatures start dying to random environmental stuff. So we'll go extra slow. The second one. tuning into everything. Everything but liquid polymorph bolts, which are mostly open to the steel phase through its high likelihood. Slow down. In the future, when we can afford it, we will upgrade our rig so that we can play anything mainstream high quality. Just as we are right now, we have the same library we've always had, which does the trick, but isn't the fanciest rig ever. Was the third world, just a couple more west, and then we start working our way back and rewiring the machines. War connoisseur just raining death on us. Oh man, I'm immune to explosive damage and toxic sludge and all the opposite. Everything. There is something that we could do to become immune to polymorph, and that would be to polymorph out polymorph. We get higher mushrooms and change the physics of the game to either remove compounds from the game permanently. That would require us opening NOITA and essentially cheating a little bit by looking into the code of the seed for the game mode. Just something we've avoided doing so far on this stream. I'm playing the save file as if we weren't using any tools with the as if we were a brand new player. It's the fourth one. See that one connoisseur came hunting after us and dug his way down. dear viewers can tell, accomplishing the really difficult long-term tasks in NOITA can actually be pretty tedious. That's why I say I usually start working towards them and then end up getting bored and doing something else, or just restarting the game, because I find the early game to be more fun, with the real threat of dying and challenging new things happening. Because at this point in the game, obviously, it's like pretty easy. It's just, you have to, I mean, you still have to be careful. There are random things you can die to, but it's mostly just kind of like accomplishing tasks through repetitive things. Still very hard, no doubt, but it's not exactly exciting, if you will. But how can I call myself a NOITA streamer if I don't even have my NOITA card? So I figured we had a good opportunity to earn our crown on stream. Instead of just showing up and being like, hey, I earned this, I can show you guys exactly proof and the way that you go about earning it, which I thought would be nice. And this is the 5th one, so once we reach the bottom, we'll work our way back up and start re-rolling the machines. Slow in this region to avoid possibly crashing again. Here we are. So, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna roll this once. A bit of room. It's faster movement. That was nice. Here are this once. As you can see, it doubles in value each time, except for the reroll machines you've already uncovered. And that's where we went through all of the effort to uncover a bunch of reroll machines ahead of time, so that they'd all be set at the base value of 200. How many stacks of repelling cape do? Okay, just one. We'll take 2. We don't want to grab too many, because at 2 it's pretty much instantaneous stain dropping, and at I think 9 stacks of repelling cape, it actually makes all of your stains completely permanent. We don't want that. here, yeah, where this one connoisseur has been digging. There he is. Gotta be careful because in some of these worlds we did uncover polymorphy up at the top here, so just extra careful in these areas. I believe we already have Breathless. It's one of the perks that even when you grab it, it'll keep spawning in. But there's no point in taking multiple stacks. Unfortunately. As well pick up invisibility, no reason not to have it at this point. Back to the last world, I should say. What's this? Number's getting pretty big. We want that number to be very big, and then break it. So we will be before long. Take telekinetic kick. Also grab bombs materialized too. We won't use it, but I don't think it'll continue spawning once we've grabbed it, and it doesn't hurt to have it. probably also want to stop at the ice caves here, so that we can kill the ice caves boss. No, I can't remember exactly where he is. We can come and do this later. I believe he's beneath the frozen vault in the ice caves area. We kill a certain guy who gives us the sun seed that we need to make the sun. We're gonna need to kill a bunch of those guys. We need to make a sun, and then I guess we need to kill one really. Few stacks of more level, which means that most enemies are going to be pretty passive. Not interested in fighting anymore. We did grab this equal armor that's in our inventory, not because we necessarily need it yet. We will need it to fight that boss we were talking about, but more so because I saw it, and I know that only one ever spawns in a world, unless you get really lucky and get the chests, and it can be destroyed, so I kind of just like to grab it, because you could accidentally cast back hold and just lose it forever. So I don't need to be holding on to my inventory. As well as just to apologize. Not that I necessarily have to, but I'm still a bit sick. Oh, interesting. The game changed how our wand was built too during the last reload, I think. Strange. That's better. A lot of extra lives now. It's going to be very hard for us to even kill ourselves if we wanted to without polymorphine. If we want to end up going for like a 35 run, now that I mentioned that, I don't think it's possible to. Oh no, there's 2 forms of amulet. Yeah, we can go after the amulet next, probably in the same one if we wanted to. I don't know where I was going with that. It brings in the once we achieve the crown, we might just be able to go ahead and go after it. I'm wondering though if it's even going to give me any achievements, because it seems to have broken my game and removed all the achievement pillars. We can only hope. So we need to go east again. There's 25 of the railroad machines down here, so it should be only there should be enough in the east ones, so we did quite a few of those. A bunch of these have already been used up, of course. This one. That's why we won't take the trouble of going to a bunch of West Worlds as well. can see we're so tanky now that we can just stand on the cursed rock and it doesn't even give us an appreciable amount of damage. That's the beauty of stainless armor, repelling cape, and gas blow combo. Number's getting pretty big now. I believe we are approaching breaking the machines here. If memory serves me, we've done like 30 of those, just several more. Actually, I do want this. It would take more faster. Fast now. It would take quick enough. I just want one more perfect faster movement horizontally. And we should be good. And the machine's broken, huzzah! Now you can see there's just one floating number over here. Now we can just hit this as many times as we want to, and it will never cost us anything. Well, I mean, it costs us like a couple of gold, I guess, like 3. Just kind of get whatever we want now. How many perks of revenge bullets do we have? 3? I can use a couple more later. It's weird that we don't really have any gold. I remember us having quite a lot of gold. Not sure what happened to it. We were only spending 200 on rerolls. It's a little strange. Stainless armor. That's mostly what we're looking for. A lot of stacks of stainless armor. I'm gonna shoot for like 11. It's our last stack of revenge bullets that we need. I have 100% resistance to projectiles. Pick up another stack of greed that will help us reach infinity money. Stainless perk in particular. Suppose it takes a little bit. We'll just grab that instead. We're a bit low on money, which is funny. Just check to make sure the game isn't broken. We actually can gain money. 6577. Yeah, okay. We just grabbed a few nuggets and immediately went gained thousands of gold from that. Because of that, yeah. We got plenty of gold generation for sure. how many stacks of stainless armor do we have? Wherever it is. Among our many perks. Do we have 8? Could be more. And we can stand inside this one. That's 9. I haven't used any maps or any tools or what have you so far in this run, but I think at some point we're gonna have to, just for the sake of not spending way too much time looking for things. We'll pull up the NOITA map so that we can find the essences. So I don't always recall where all of the essences are. I don't want to make a showcase of how you don't need tools to play this game. But, I mean, we're certainly at a point where it's kind of like, I've already proven the point, so we might also open up NOITA and see if we can't polymorph out polymorphine. I just wanted to prove that it's not necessary to have any outside help to get to the point in the game where you're totally godlike and invincible and you can do whatever you want. I don't need this inverter now. So we'll actually grab us a key so that we can make that elevator in the main world. I would like maybe a bit more help, so I might grab some more help to this here. That's 10 stacks of stainless armor. Yep. So one of those probably fine. Might grab another couple stacks of 2 when we see those, so we can reach infinite gold really, really quickly. Which is useful because then we can go find the Touch of Gold spell, which when you have infinite money is free and gives you an absolute ton of damage, which is nice. It likes damage. Especially when you're trying to fight a 33 or 27 and you're putting on a lot of damage. That's our stacks that we needed for that. And might as well grab that too. And we're actually going to tunnel down to hell real quick with an infinite amount of money. Hopefully with as many stacks of food as we have, it won't be too hard. We will just grab another one very fast. How many stacks of more love do we have? 4. Okay, we could stand to get more of those too. I'm just gonna go to hell real quick because it's basically the place where you can get the most bang for your buck as far as how much gold enemies drop. Enemies in hell drop a lot of money. Yeah, there we go. Can see we're getting plenty of money. Some chaos as well. I'd like to activate Trick Greed. I think we'll get there eventually, just even without Trick Greed, we have so many stacks of greed, it's probably fine. Not quite. I think we need like 1 trillion gold. We might get more greed stacks. And we can go infinite easily. Hi, Moist Beefaroni. How you doing, brother? Yeah, I agree. Of course I would. Of course I agree. Otherwise I wouldn't be playing. This is one of my favorite games, NOITA. It's probably one of the most in-depth single-player experiences. Period. This game has a lot going on under the hood. It's a big favorite of mine. It's basically as deep as you can, as you want to go with it. Now, I'm only really working with knowledge that other people have uncovered for me, but there's a lot you can do in this game that would blow your mind. People get really into this, the coding of these wands to make wands that do absolutely ridiculous things. For example, I'll break the alchemy system for very funny effects. But the beauty of it is that it's a sandbox game, so the whole idea is that you can do whatever you want. Me, I'm trying to earn my NOITA blink. There's a couple really difficult, in-depth, long-term quests that you can do that give you permanent unlocks for your character, a crown and an amulet. So we're looking towards those on the stream, so we have the proof. The colors, man! The colors, yeah. That's our damage wand. Does a lot of damage. Right now we're just running around and grabbing the, we went ahead and broke the perk missions in some of these alternate worlds so that it's now free for us to reroll as many times as we want, so we're picking up some of the perks that we like to accomplish a couple goals that we're looking at. Ooh, we want to avoid that. That's the most dangerous liquid in the game. If I touch that, I could lose all of my progress. Start back over all the way from the beginning again. We don't want that. I'm just looking for greed. We don't want trick greed. Lots of stacks of greed. There we go. Reminds me of a trippy version of Metroid. Then the flying around is crazy, yeah. If you haven't seen me playing this before, you've missed all of the steps that I took to get here. It's not so crazy until you get to a really advanced point in the game like the boy here. It's certainly a lot more subdued from a new player's experience. This is how I'm used to playing the game, because most of my runs, I'm good enough at the game to where I can get to this point pretty easily. Not guaranteed though. If you go back and watch the first stream, I think I did die once before I went infinite. But this is a very knowledge-heavy game. It requires a lot of knowledge to be very good, and that's what I like about it. I'm not so much a fan of games that require reaction speed anymore. I kind of like the games where you just kind of have to think. You got to think with your head noggin. And this is certainly one of those games. This is a game that will really teach you risk avoidance, because there's so many different things that can kill you. If you're very, very careful, you can be very good at this game, but the moment that you let your guard down, you'll end your run. The moment that you let your guard down. And that's what I like about it. It keeps you on your toes. There's a saying for this game, get NOITA. That is to say, getting killed by something that you didn't see coming because you let your guard down. All of these stacks of greed will help us as well if we decide to go for the 33 orb run in this save final. But we didn't get too corrupted from the tornado crash. Should be fine though. The game's usually pretty good about that sort of thing. Then when we respawn in a new world, we'll just pick up a couple nuggets and immediately have more gold than we'll ever need. Those perks carry through between Mugi and Cuss. I'm not sure how trick greed works. I'm not sure if it doubles the overall amount of gold stacking with the previous trick greeds, greeds, or if maybe I do actually, because I know trick greed does a stack additively to the point where you get insane amounts of gold. So I'm wondering if I should also be grabbing trick greeds in order to get infinite gold. I'm trying to activate trick kills. The issue with having too many trick greeds is that sometimes you'll kill an enemy and the entire screen will fill up with gold, and there's just too much of it. So it's like I already have infinite gold, I have no reason to have enemies dropping insane amounts of gold all over the place. Because greed doesn't spawn more gold nuggets, it just makes it so that they're more valuable. But trick greed does spawn double the gold nuggets, so it can get pretty messy. I'm wondering now if this is enough. Let's see here. Let's go back to hell and see if we can Make a bunch of money. Ooh! That's chaotic poly. Okay, I don't think it went down the tunnel. We'll be very careful. Should be safe to go back up, but just make sure there isn't little bits of chaotic poly lying around. Oh yeah, we gain a lot of money per gold nugget now. What's this one? Pretty easy. Let's go to hell, as they say. Hello. Will he die from the electric shock? That would be ideal. We're making a lot more money now than we were. I'm trying to approach the infinite gold. We have 1,000 million. Okay, I think we can. I think once we reach quintuple digits in the millions, then that's when it breaks and just says, okay, you have infinite money, good job, you did it, it's infinite, whatever. Yeah, there we go. Blam, infinite gold. That's what we were looking for. And we can leave it. We'll take a portal back to the main one. Don't really care anymore about getting more perks. We got all the perks we could ever want. Let's see. I'm terrified. This is polymorphine, and it's just suddenly pouring through this tunnel. That is not good. Okay, yikes. Let's give that somewhere to go, because oof. Scary. Is there more? Let's do this as well, so that whatever's sitting right there can go down. I don't know where that came from, but we don't like it. Alright. So this seems like a good a spot as any to summon Sadakivi. Might as well do it like right here. So we have a cool little elevator. Skadoosh. Then we'll just go up here slowly, because now that we created a new tunnel, can't be too sure that we didn't pop another chaotic polymorphine or polymorphine bottle on the way up. So we just want to ensure that the tunnel is safe by going up it slowly. Be ready to teleport out at any moment. trying to stay very focused here so I can panic leave if there's a bunch of polymorphine raining down. Okay, we're good. Now we just need to decide what our next objective is going to be. So, Sunquest, we are going to need the Sunseed, and we're going to need 5 essences. We're going to need every essence, including the poop essence, in order to create the Dark Sun. And then we can get our crown that way. We might also take a small detour to go grab Komi-sama, the final boss, and run him into the Dark Sun so that we can get an achievement for killing Komi with the sun. That's certainly something else we could do here as well. So, first things first. We need to go get a Sunseed. Sunseed. And that will be in the Snowy Depths. So what we are going to do here is, let's say at this point, we've made our point about what's possible without tools, and we will open the NOITA map. At this point, we do need the NOITA map, because I don't recall exactly where our guy is. Okay, so there. We're gonna go kill that guy. This boss is one of the more difficult bosses because he cannot be seen or damaged unless you went through the puzzles in the game to figure out that you need to know that you need the Pahasuma in order to be able to see. I believe we just go straight down from the frozen ball and we'll basically get there. So I did remember correctly. This is the way. This is one of the friend caverns. The friend isn't here, but there's a bunch of really interesting and difficult achievements associated with the so-called friend, and he'll spawn in a random one of like 23 chambers. That's one of them. Just go straight down here. Okay. Next to the snowy cavern, which is good. We know we're in the right spot. Did we go too far? No, we didn't. Okay. We should be like over here. Yep. So the boss is in here. Place our Pahasuma. We don't want our Pahasuma to be destroyed once we place it, so we'll create a somewhat safe little zone for it. Where's the boss? There he is. Create a somewhat safe little zone for it. Like here. Get him over to us. Come on, buddy. Is he not aggro at all? Gotta get these things. We might have so many stacks of more love that he's not even aggroed onto us. Maybe we can spawn projectiles and then really quickly hold the Pahasuma to be able to kill him. That kind of worked. Maybe I can just blow up on him repeatedly. Yeah. I can just stand on top of him and let him damage me to blow him up. That works too. Oh. Oh no. Wait, is that... Okay. I almost blew up the item too, but there was just a sliver of it left, which means I can pick it up, thankfully. Or is it just that small? Oh, that's right. I need to take this over to the pyramid to make it big enough. That's right. Just gotta go back up. Where's our hole? Where's our hole? I remember this item being bigger. It has been a while since I played it. It's entirely possible to change the item. What's up, Jose? Oh, sorry, I didn't see your comments. Again, I'm playing without sound because of weird sound issues I'm having, so I don't hear the comments. Most from you said, oh, so you know the location of the resource, I mean, I thought you had some kind of tracker or something. No, I don't. Like I was saying earlier, I was intentionally not using any tools to show people that you can get to endgame without using tools. I am using them now, though, that I've made my point. So I do have a map open to show me where the thing that I need is. How am I feeling? Still sick, but better. I don't feel an overwhelming sense of existential dread, just a blanket of existential dread. And yes, bro is popping. I've broken the reroll machines, gotten all of the stacks of all of the perks that I wanted. We have the Sun Seed. I just need to go activate it over here. We are well on our way towards earning the crown. Come back! Come back! Ooh! Nice. So, now that we have this, I think we're actually just going to leave it here for now. What we need, we can drop this other stuff we don't need too. We need the different essences. So, we'll drop off our evil eye. Save that for later. We don't need water for really any reason ever, so we can just leave that here too. And we need to go through the process of getting the essences. So, let's open the proper map. We have an annotated map here that will help us. So, let's see. We can go first to the essence of air. Well, actually, we're closer to the essence of earth, so I can grab that first. Here's the essence of earth. Just take that. And we'll go over to the essence of air, pick that up too. Opposite side of the world. We'll visit an essence eater, which will remove essences from us and give us the associated stones. The stones. About where we need to be. Put stand there right here because as me destroying these What's in here? Oh right, there's the gourds. I don't want to accidentally destroy the gourds. That means that we should be like right over here, looking for the center of this cloudscape. That's where our essence is going to be. I'm having a bit of trouble finding it. It's somewhere near. In this small cloudy body. Maybe another one of those diamonds like I just saw me pick something from up earlier. There it is. Now we have the air essence, the earth essence. We need the fire essence and the water essence and the poop essence. So, essence of spirits is going to be at the bottom of the lake. And let me just look at the wiki really quick and double check that I'm grabbing the right essences. This is a game where you typically will need the wiki in order to get some of these more difficult things done. You can figure out all of this stuff on your own. People technically have. That's why it's on the wiki. But just for the sake of not going through weeks of work, we're just gonna say that we already know how to do this, and we're gonna look up exactly which essences we need for the dark sun. Okay. The next essence is going to be at the bottom of the pursuit. There's a boss down here as well. I might just kill for fun. Not that there's any real reason to. We've already got the achievement. There he was. Where's he at? Alright, so what we're looking for is down here. There it is. Poop essence. Alright, so just need a couple more. So next we need the essence of water, which is in hell. East from here. Should be like right around here, basically. There it is. Now I just need to recall where the last essence is. So the last one that we need, we have earth, air, water, we need the fire essence. don't recall the general location, where it is exactly. It's on the lake. Okay, underground near the wooden effigy. So we actually passed by it earlier. So we wanted to grab that. Back over we came. Here's the box. I don't think I had anything that can damage on it. Like very particular types of spells here. So we might just leave it alone. This isn't even what we have in the wand right now. I mean, we could just do this one. There we go. And then theoretically, thank you. It's pretty janky though. Well, with all these essences, it's a little annoying. We don't have to use anything. We'll just leave him. He can do his thing now. What we want, the essences there. So it'll be on the top of the lake. I believe that there will be another boss that spawns as well. There's just weird innocent creatures. Not this one. There's another area. We might be boned. I think there's supposed to be a much larger island here. When our world got restarted, it doesn't seem to be here. Oh, no. We might not be able to get it. I think it just got despawned from the world. It is the most... We're looking for the stone that we get from the essence, and it is the most common type of stone in Firestone, so we could always just look for them. There might also be another in the west world. You might be able to just go and find. Although I'm not sure that the lake spawns more essences. We can double check. Parallel world map. See if we can't just get it that way. Nope, this island doesn't spawn at all in parallel worlds. So I think the only thing that we could possibly do here, because of the glitch that we had from the crash earlier, is unfortunately just go ahead and clear the essences that we have now, get our stones, and then we just have to find the firestone that we want. Just have to find it. So we're looking for an essence eater here. Let me double check where that is. So the essence eater in the desert will be on the east of Search me over here. Do they spawn in parallel worlds is the question. I don't know. Might be in the I wonder if there's one here. Should at least be essence eater of the main island, which would be in the snowy wasteland surface. Let's destroy that. And I'll get all of these wonderful little rocks. There it is. It's like, where's the last one? There it is. So, we have all but the one rock that we need in order to create our lovely dark sun. We just need the firestone. So we're just going to have to kind of look for one. You know, it could take us any amount of time. We could find it immediately, or we could maybe not for a while. Typically, they're pretty common. We probably ran past a few and didn't even think about grabbing them. Because normally the world doesn't just eat chunks of itself. We're gonna find somewhere safe to set these down while we look for the last one. So, yeah. It's just how things go in the NOITA sometimes. Get noited. First place I'd go to look is the fungal cavern. Let's go to our elevator. I'm going to stash our stones in here. This is going to be our safe spot for the stones right here. I'm going to look for that last rock we need. Just hope that we can kind of find it. It can spawn in chests. Look in this chest. It's just gold. We obviously don't need gold anymore. Now we're just looking for our very particular item. Just kind of hoping that we find it. Could take any amount of time. Oh, and there it is. Hey! Insane. We immediately find what we're looking for. Let's go. Huzzah! Now we can make our sun. The sun. We are going to need lots of innocent creatures and bombs to make the sun child, and then we're going to feed it these rocks that we have. I believe we've already removed the southern sun. If there's still one down there, then we will have to, let's grab this. Then we will have to remove it with something that can move suns. I believe the alchemist dropped something that lets you move suns. So, let's make sure we have everything that we need. We need to be able to cast 10 bombs at once, so we'll need to go to heaven and grab a divide by 10 spell at the least. And then any type of bomb, which I'm sure we have one laying around somewhere. We also need a way to summon innocent creatures, so we'll need to grab an egg spell. I'm sure we have. I wonder if Takasalva might work. That might count as innocent creature. We'll just have to double check that real quick by looking at the wiki. "100 creatures." So I think that the summon wand will do, because I believe they count as creatures. Might be good there. But I think what we need to do next is head up to the work to find a divide by 10 spell. I need to be careful here, because there's a type of enemy that bleeds polymorphine, which is obviously insanely dangerous. Actually, the walls over here. That type of enemy right there. You don't want to go anywhere near that. We'll pick this up for later. Divide by 2 will come in handy when we make 1,000 spell casting wand someday. Luckily, these guys aren't going to be aggro on us because we have enough stacks of more love. So that does make this space a lot safer than it would be otherwise. Because normally you have chaotic polymorphine just raining down on top of all sorts of things, which is no good, obviously. Like that for posterity will help us create infinite sprites. Just looking for more divide by spells. Maybe a white hole would be nice. There's divide by 10. That's what we wanted. We can now leave. I won't be here for too long with these very dangerous enemies laying about. Let's pick up one of those as well. Let's get out of here. Avoid disturbing the residents. All bombs spell. Spell that casts bombs. Any spell. Any type of bomb. I'm sure we left one in a holy mountain somewhere. Probably the first holy mountain. Possibly the second. Oh. Please don't crash again. Okay. Whoa. No. No. Oh. Our computer just isn't powerful enough to run a NOITA save file this large and stream at the same time. It never crashes, but that's twice today. No. Oh, this is so sad. I was even running NOITA Entangled Worlds doing this sort of stuff with Julie Bob, and it was fine. Off stream. Oh no. Alright, let's just kind of hope. We just kind of hope that we're good. At this point, this world's probably going to be pretty messed up, so we won't go for a 33 orb run. I just want my crown. I want to achieve my crown despite the crashing. Give me the crown. Hopefully it didn't, like, delete stuff that we need again. I guess we get 2 divide by 10s. It's all bugged out now. Man, that's so unfortunate. We'll get our crown, and we'll come back to NOITA when we have a stronger rig someday, and then try and get the amulet of Yendor as well. I just don't think that we can afford too many more crashes without totally, like, wrecking the world. It's already kind of messed up from the last crash. It might help if I minimize OBS. I just won't be able to. No, I still want to be able to see comments still. I won't do it. Almost hit 50 live viewers? Wow. That's pretty crazy. I would not have expected that many people be interested in NOITA, but I'm certainly happy because I think this game is awesome. I think this game deserves all of the attention. But it sure has its limitations. When you've explored like 50 parallel worlds like I have, it starts to slow down quite a bit. It never crashes for me, but apparently the load that streaming puts on my PC in addition to the massive save file is just enough to break it, unfortunately. Where's my elevator? There it is. Oh yeah, and one more thing before we go put the sun down there. We do need to locate the sun, which we can go kill Robo Colmy. Is what we're gonna need to do to be able to do that. Could just use the map, but we'll not rely on the map as much as possible. We'll do what you're supposed to do and kill Robo Colmy, which gives you like a sort of map that will tell you and stuff like that. No, actually, on second thought, we're struggling through these crashes so much. It's better I just try and get this quest done as soon as possible so we can get the game done. Can only handle so many of these. have bomb. We have something that summons things. I just heard a big crash. I need to go check it out. Make sure my cat isn't hurt. Alright, everything's fine. I just didn't fully close my screen door and it's windy outside, so it's just slamming into the house. Everything is fine. Let's go to hell. Get this, go to the sun. Let's find our elevator. This will bring us most of the way. There it is. So let's see. I want to find the approximate center and go straight down from there. And in the center will be the fireworks orb. So we want to find the fireworks orb and tunnel straight down from the fireworks orb. That will be somewhere around here. There it is. I go straight down. Fall through the wood a bit, and then there's like a few levels that we need to go through. We want this, just in case some Techosola doesn't work. I think this spawns sheep you can use to activate the sun child. Maybe in the next level or two that we encounter the sun or the moon. We should have another sun down here, but I'm hoping it's just kind of gone. Last time I walked around there, you'd see it on the previous save. So ideally, I should be back to a moon. So like dark sun. But chances are decent that there's just still a sun down here that we need to remove, so we might have to go back to the surface to kill the alchemist to get the tool that we need to move it out of the way so we can replace it with the dark sun. I feel like we must have passed it by now. Yeah, it should be here in the second void. It seems to be like a bit to the right. We might have to kill a robo clone just so that we can actually find this in the end. One of the things we've been trying, we're supposed to be in a shop. It kind of sticks out. Oh. The sun is somewhat horizontal to that. I think this is what we're looking for. Yeah. So, we might have just passed it the first time. Here. It's just the opposite wall. That's not supposed to happen. There's supposed to be another level in between. No, this is what we're looking for. This is the shop I was talking about. So, we'll do somewhere. We'll go here and then down. This way. Down again. Over here in the sun. Yeah, here it is. Okay, good. It is the moon once again, which is good. So now that we're here, let's just double check that we're remembering how to do this correctly so we don't mess up. Okay, yes, we need to do 10 explosions and then 100 creatures. So let's build the ones we need to do that. Just move this stuff over here for now. Alright. Divide by 10. Bomb. Here that works. Yeah. Alright, sun egg. Sun egg right here. And then theoretically we just double check it just in case. This. Sun egg. Okay, bounce. Boom. Got that. Now we just need to cast creatures. And that wasn't the spell that we thought it was, and that's how quickly NOITA can end. Right as we're ready to finally complete what we wanted to do, we cast a spell that turns us into a sheep because we didn't read it. Awesome. Thanks everyone for watching. That's NOITA for you. Get NOITA'd. Fuck you. That's how this game goes. Read your spells. And we'll come back to this when we can upgrade our rig. so that we can do it a little bit more legitimately and make sure that we don't encounter any bugs or crashes or something. But you basically see the process, and that's just how it goes. So I'm thinking I might end the stream here so that we can prepare for the next stream, because again, for anybody who knows, I've been having weird audio issues while streaming where it like bass boosts and turns up the volume on all of my sounds. That's why I'm not playing with any sound at all, because it's unplayable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a new headset that I bought for streaming from my laptop and hook that up and see if maybe it's an actual like equipment issue with my audio mixer. So, but I kind of need the extra time today in between streams to do some audio troubleshooting. So I think this is our opportunity to just end our afternoon stream here and get prepared for the next stream, and make sure that we can actually play without having crazy audio issues. But anyways, thanks a lot, you guys. Joseph Cowett informed us that we have quite a lot of viewers, which is awesome. I'm glad that you guys show interest in this game. It's a favorite of mine. If you like the stream, if you want to see me again, you can do that by subscribing. Whenever I stream, I'll show up for you. Consider joining the Discord. There's not a ton going on there because we're growing slowly, intentionally, but we are trying to build like a good core audience before we start streaming to multiple platforms and advertising our stream a lot. So this is a good opportunity to get kind of in on the ground floor of the community, become like an established person that I know who you are personally, and then someday we'll grow the channel further, and we'll be doing cool events there, like I don't know, like book clubs, mentorship programs, that sort of thing, servers for games and stuff. Collabs with other streamers, that sort of thing. So consider joining that so you can see what's going on in the future. And thank you so much. And see you guys at our stream later. We will be playing Raft. I believe, let me double check. At our usual 8 p.m. time, yes. If everybody that we played Raft with yesterday is going to be available, we'll play Raft again. Otherwise, we'll just see what we do. We can play whatever we want, obviously. But anyway, see you guys. Thanks for watching.